Alright, it is 6 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. I am literally standing at my back gate. Remy and I are getting ready to steek off up the mountain to that knob about 3/4 of the way up there and do a little stealth camping for the night. Cowboy camp layout under the stars. Hardly a cloud in the sky right now. So hopefully this will be a quiet evening and a perfect place just to sneak off to for a couple hours. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. This hike is not particularly long, but it is steep. And hard to do while you're holding the camera in one hand. Right up through there, where we're heading. Well, we made it to our little knob. We crashed in the shades as soon as we got here. That'll wear you out, won't it, Rem? Huh? She drank a whole bottle of water. We're gonna rest here and catch our breath a minute, and I'll show you where we're gonna make camp. Check out this view. Not a bad view to spend the evening looking at. This little knob comes right out. This little spot that Dad and I were at, we hiked up here last week when he was here visiting. And there's a flat spot here, just big enough roll out your sleeping bag and sleep looking at the stars and the city lights and the mountain views all in one. And I knew as soon as I saw it I was going to have to spend the night there. So that's what we're going to do. I apologize if this video is not up to my normal high quality video standards that you've come to expect. I broke my tripod and lost it somewhere on the way up here. I keep the little tripod that the GoPro goes on just shoved in a side pocket, and it must have got snagged on a rock or a bush or something coming up the mountain, because it's gone. And the camera's fine. Thankfully the camera didn't come out of my pocket too, but it's broke off right where it mounts on the camera. So that's kind of a bummer, but we'll make do. It's a beautiful place to spend the night. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is really breezy up here, and that wind might be a little chilly in the morning. There's also some clouds blowing in that are a little on the dark side. There wasn't a cloud in the sky when I left. But if it rains, well, I guess the worst that could happen is if it thunderstorms and I don't wake up, I get struck by lightning. But the worst that could happen in reality is I get wet and I walk off the mountain in a rainstorm in the dark. But I think we're going to be okay. It doesn't look like anything too serious. I wanted to have a fire tonight, but couldn't for several reasons. Number one, I'm stealth camping and I don't want anybody to know that I'm up here. I doubt anybody would, and I'd probably be fine. But number two, not supposed to have a fire on this western side of the mountains. And then number three, I like to practice, you know, leave no trace behind. And this little spot's too pretty to scar it up with a fire ring. So, excuse me, Remy, I'm talking. He is a wore out dog. I think that's the first time he moved since we got here. He drank a 24-ounce bottle of water as soon as we got here, and then drank a bunch more. So I hope I have enough water for both of us. But the hike was almost a little bit too tough for him. Anyway, I was wanting to have a fire and cook on a fire, so I thought the best way probably to do that, I brought my little canister stove, but you can't really, that's great for putting a pot on, cooking in a pot, but I wanted to cook meat, and it's not the best deal for that, so I brought my little fold-up backpacking grill since I wasn't going far and I could afford the weight. So I'm hoping I can just put this right on top of there and get it all cooked up good. The other problem is I'm on a big rocky knob and there's no fuel to burn at all. So there's not enough fuel to have a fire and cook on coals anyway. So the only fuel I could find is a bunch of dead twigs on the bottom side of some sagebrush on the other side of the hill. So I broke these all up and I have a pretty good pile of that there. It's going to burn fast because it's just little dried dead sagebrush is dried nothing, so it'll burn quick. But hopefully that'll get my dinner cooked, because it shouldn't take too long to cook. Because for dinner tonight I brought, I'm not so sure about this. This is a dollar store ribeye steak, and if you get a ribeye at the dollar store, it's going to be awesome. My concern, it's about a 1/16 of an inch thick. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost a liquid steak in there. I mean, it is paper thin. So I'm not sure what that's going to do when I open it up, how I'm even going to get it on the grill. Because it is, can you see that? It's meat, but I'm sure it's a really high quality cut. So anyway, we're going to try to cook that on the fire, and then I've got, for backup, a high quality chopped chicken fillet from the dollar store wrapped in bacon. So I'm sure that's high quality too, but it seems to be a little bit more substantial. So if the steak doesn't work out so good, that hopefully will. Anyway, I'm going to get this fired up and get supper on the grill and watch the sunset. Turning into a pretty night, isn't it, Remy? He's watching the sunset with me. Alright. Let's see how dollar store ribeye cooks up. Apparently, this is a dollar store ribeye after it thaws out. It looks like meat when it's frozen. I'm not sure what it is now. It's paper thin. You can see the sun shining through that. But we'll see how she does. Raise that up there a little bit. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be the best piece of meat I've ever eaten in my life. But I'll eat it. Picked up some couscous already. Well, I cooked the water for it and it's soaking, so we'll have some couscous and chicken if nothing else. I'm going to cook this first and then throw the chicken on there and add a lot of salt and pepper, I think, to this. I'm sure it'll be so tender it melts in my mouth. But we'll add some salt and pepper. and that'll fix it right up. These canister stoves, you have to feed them, because they burn it quick and they burn it fast. Dollar store steak cooking on the Barbie. There is a country song for somebody right there. Well, whether dinner's any good or not, the view is spectacular. Alright, the chicken's grilling. The steak is done. I figure with dollar store steak, well done is probably the way to go. It actually doesn't look too bad. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm hungry enough to eat anything. I'll put it back on to warm up just a minute after the chicken's done. I was hoping I'd have a better sunset, and those clouds rolling in over there are messing me up. Alright, I think my chicken puck is done. I'm going to give that a couple more minutes. But while that's finishing, I'm going to go ahead and bite into my steak. Forgive my bad manners. I forgot my knife in my haste to get out of the house today, so I'm going to be rude and eat it with my fingers. I'm not just saying this. Maybe it's because I'm hungry, but that's really good. It's not tough at all. I was expecting it to be really rubbery, but it's not a bit. I'd eat that every day. Cooking it on that sage wood gives it a little bit of sage flavor, which is awesome. Yeah, I'd do that again. That is not bad. Twig stoves, you gotta feed them constantly. All right. Well, I'm going to finish this steak and couscous and then dig into the chicken. Well, the steak was good. I'm working on the chicken now. And to be honest, it's good too. It's not bad. The bacon makes it taste like bacon, so it's good. The steak was actually, I like the steak better than the chicken. But they're both good. I'd eat it again. Not bad for $1. You get what you pay for, but that's pretty good. Alright, I'm just going to sit here now and finish up my dinner by this raging inferno of a campfire I've got here. Sun's getting low. I probably need to get up and get my bed set up pretty soon. You ready for bed, Remy? He is a tired puppy. He had a tough time coming up the hill. I'm glad I didn't bring Ruger. I think Ruger, our older dog, is retired. We did a 1 mile backpacking trip last week and he hobbled all the way out. He's got old dog hips. And Remy struggled. First time he hadn't hardly moved since we got here. So let me show you my, oh, let me see that. That's not a bad view to sleep with, is it? It's just I put this painter's drop cloth on the ground underneath. Something to help keep the sleeping pad dry and keep stickers and stuff from out of it. A little bit of protection, keep you off the dirt. My Wilderness Technology sleeping pad. And my Thermarest sleeping bag. It should get down to about, I think 50 tonight they were saying, so that should keep us pretty comfortable. This headlight turned off. Last bit of sunshine. Are we spending the night, Remy? Hey, we gonna stay all night? Hey, look here, we staying all night? Huh? Yeah? Oh, this is nice. I've been sitting here reading a couple different books. One by a 19th century Scottish theologian named George MacDonald. And another called Drop Zone about a bioplague that wipes out half the United States. Good stuff. Man, how blessed am I? How many people don't live in a place where they can do this? Much less how many people live in a place where they can walk out their back door and do this. Walked out my back door and it took me about 45 minutes to get here, and that was at a snail's pace coming up that hill. I worked until about 5 today. Left at 6:30 and got to be back at 8 in the morning. So how close that I can do this in that short amount of time. Oh, it's nice. Moon's out. Sit here and read until I get sleepy. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's 4 o'clock. And that's the pitter-patter of raindrops. So I'm burrowed down under the bag. I was just laying on top of the bag for a long time. It's been so nice out. I think I have everything that matters covered up. So now I just have to decide whether to get up and throw everything in the bag and walk out of here, since I've got to get up soon anyway, or lay here and hope it quits. It was raining a little hard for a minute. Now it's just a heavy drizzle. I think I'm gonna lay here a minute and cross my fingers and hope it goes away. Rule number 3. We're still having fun. Oh, that's rule number 2. Sorry, getting my rules mixed up. It's early. I'll check back in a little bit. Yep. Still raining.
but I'm comfy. As long as it's just light stuff, I think I'm just gonna lay here. This hike's pretty brutal. I'm not anxious to break my neck trying to do it in the dark. So unless this becomes a downpour, we're just gonna lay inside the bag and listen to it drizzle. Morning. Good morning, Mimi. This is my wake-up call. We survived the rain, didn't we, buddy? It's a bit of a gray morning. Time to make a cup of coffee, pack up, and head out of here. You ready to go home? You ready to go home? You guys have a great day.